From sunny Southern California, we bring you Meet Bridget, a podcast for building confident communication and female badassery. We spotlight women who have bridged the gaps in their lives by building strong relationships and speaking their teenage dreams into reality.
Bring it on, baby!
All right, ladies, let's play ball.
Welcome back to Meet Bridget. If you're joining us fresh and you haven't been here for the past 4 seasons, we are in season 5, and we thought it would be a great opportunity to jump in and really share with you our mission statement, because being a company that's been around this long, we've started with missions that have evolved and changed. And when we started this company, we really committed to each other that we wanted to make it necessary, that if we came out with something and our audience wanted something slightly different or was served better by us showing up in a different way, that we would pivot and react to that, because really our goal is impact. We have discussed a lot as we went into this new era of video. We've also had a lot of conversations about where is our mission these days, and is it different from where it was when we began? So we thought it would be fun to share the formal mission statement that we've put together as we've embarked on this 5th season. So I am going to actually even just read it to you. I'm surely going to memorize it by the end of the season. But Meet Bridget is a career library built on real, unfiltered conversations with inspiring women. We believe confidence starts with self-trust and grows through authentic community. Through our podcast, we share the teenage stories behind success, because when you see the path, you know what's possible.
Yes.
So, Keish, take us back to where we've been and what has changed to get us to this new mission statement.
Oh my gosh, the mission statement really gives me chills, because we started out essentially as a nonprofit aiming to serve teen girls in the Los Angeles community. And what you built, Asha, that I was so happy to join in on, was a platform that placed teen girls and successful career women from all types of backgrounds, from all different career pathways, on an even playing field. So it wasn't mentor-mentee. It was, here we are in the same room. What can we learn from each other? And that is where we really got started. And over the years, we hosted tons of events. We brought girls in. We brought in powerful women speakers. We hosted different actionable workshops that girls could learn from. And what we started to really extract was that outside of learning hard and soft career skills, and outside of listening to successful women just tell their stories, we were also fostering community, and we were allowing space for vulnerability to be, to come to play, and for these stories to really unfold as they happen. So failure was a big part of that. And it just started to shift our ethos a little bit toward, I think, where we always would have ended up, but toward the place where we could say, okay, this is what we're about. We're not just about sharing what has happened, but we're sharing how and why and what's possible, and, the failures that you had to go through to get to this place at this time.
Yeah, I think that while we've been learning and growing as a company, it's our mission has grown alongside that it's, it's really grown from being a company for teen girls, coaching teen girls, workshops for teen girls, a podcast for teen girls, where then kind of without meaning to, we've realized that our audience is much broader.
Yes.
That we have women and men, honestly, of all ages listening in and connecting to these teenage stories. And that really is in line with the original intent of the company, that horizontal, everyone can learn from anyone in, by being vulnerable and connecting, and that just age doesn't really inhibit any type of connection. And on that note, even the name, people are like, which one of you is Bridget? And neither, we
it's
chose
the bridge that we were building.
It is. It really, it's a word, it's a name that means strong woman. It's an Irish name, which we love. But it has the word bridge, where it's it's horizontal. We're building connections. There's no ego. There's no reward system. It's just transparent and horizontal and fun,
Yeah.
honestly. So early in our podcast, if you have been a listener from the first season, we started our podcast with 2 types of episodes. We would do our interviews, and then we would do what we called bridge etymologies. We're like linguistics nerds, if you haven't picked up on that. But we really, part of our, our belief is that confidence, is something that you can build through trusting yourself and establishing vulnerability with other people. But then that communication is what can build community.
Yes.
So we started these bridge etymology episodes to enhance how we are communicating. We said that the words we use and choose matter. So we would take a word and go back to its original Latin, Greek, whatever meanings, roots, and break it down to understand whether it really means the same thing, or if we could add a layer of meaning to how we use that word today. So one of the words that we did as a bridge etymology that really stuck with us was obviously the word confidence.
Yes.
We broke it down to be real quick about it. Confidence means con is with, fid is the root that means truth or trust. So to be with trust really is confidence. And, when you can have confidence in yourself, you can have confidence in others. And we just keep circling back to that root word in every interview that we do and every step we take.
Our virtue cycle of confidence and communication.
Exactly.
I just, it's so powerful when we think about everything that our mission statement talks about, and how emboldened we are by this particular ethos and plan. And what's come out of this really, in shifting and pivoting and keeping our noses turned toward what people want, which is this sense of community and this sense of increased confidence that comes from that. It's also allowed us to build this very diverse career library. Our dream, actually, one of our formative dreams, even before we knew that we'd have a podcast, was to create a library of videos for teen girls. And like Asha mentioned, we've really expanded that to anyone that can find truth and inspiration and vulnerability in what we're doing. And so, with the podcast, we've been able to broaden our reach and broaden that career library and those success stories. And you can literally go to our website, www.meetbridget.com, and search through our podcast listing by whatever you want to hear. So if you want to look for episodes that are focused on career or mental health journeys or, diet or eating disorders or, relationships, I mean, you name it, you type it in, you can look through our last 4 seasons and counting of information that we have compiled for you. And now that we've launched our YouTube channel, you can do the same thing. Head to our YouTube channel, which is at Meet Bridget, and it's also on our Instagram and all our socials. And you can really follow along with everything that we're doing.
I think that, when we connected and really, I'll always remember the coffee shop meetings that we had when you were on the night shift.
Yes.
You were literally running on fumes to meet me at the coffee shop and sketch out what this company could do. It was always what is not there that we wish was there as young women? And a big part of that was around careers, that visibility of how do you even search? What could be right for you? How do you know it's a career path you could even choose? And, in doing that, it's kind of expanded from careers into life paths and philosophies, and all the different options. I really believe that, true feminism is enhancing the amount of options we have as women. That it's it doesn't mean you have to take one side or another. It's just that a woman can be whatever is right for her.
Just making it all available.
Yes, and being honest about it. So we feel so proud to be able to look at our website and our YouTube as a tool that, if we were young again, we could search there. But also, as grown women, we can connect to women. Every time we interview someone, we have a takeaway. I really, truly feel that I have become a better woman by having the privilege of interviewing these women. And I think that our listeners can have that same feeling by, listening to the stories that our listeners or our
Guests
have trusted us with. So
it's been an immense privilege, I think, to be able to sit in on these and to not just be able to offer, but to be able to learn. And I think in that sense, this community that we are building is just that. It is a community of really strong and successful women who are sharing everything, all the nitty gritty via this resource that we're building. And, really it's the tool we wish we had, and it's a tool we're happy we have now.
I'll always remember, so we used to do these workshops primarily with teen girls, and a thing that we were doing as we were putting together the workshops was that we wanted to create things that didn't exist. Mm-hmm. So, one of the workshops was working with a group of incarcerated teen girls, and we talked to them about makeup, which seems like so surface level, but it was really about like your self-image. Mm-hmm. What do you see when you, like, how can you put makeup into context where it's like I'm embracing my best features and using this to express myself. We had a girl in that workshop that like was able to cover a face tattoo that, she had an emotional moment in that workshop because she was like, this can open up opportunities for me. I never wanted this, and I got it at a young age. But then, we did a workshop with a group of teen moms, and we asked them questions. We polled them afterwards and asked them about, what are some career paths that you actually could see yourself working? Mm-hmm. What are some career paths of interest to you? And almost every single girl in that group wrote neonatal nurse. And from that moment, it really confirmed something that we were suspecting, that when you are able to have an intimate, vulnerable experience with a woman, to really know who she is and trust her and have that self-trust and trust in community, then suddenly her pathway becomes an option for you. Yeah. And that energy just has persisted through
we've been able to
every single
it
season
too.
And I think it's even on a bigger level. Women of every age, I think, can connect to that freshness, the vulnerability of our teen years, the inevitable mistakes and discomforts and embarrassments and awkwardness of that stage. We can all connect to it because it's present for all of us. So
yes.
We would love to use this episode as a call to action. If this is something that you wish that you had when you were a teenager, or that you'd like to share with teenagers, that you want to combat this like wild west of social media and like scariness that is really an onslaught for the young women of our age. Like depression rates, anxiety rates are on the rise, and there's nothing like, it's scary, especially for young women. If you want to be a part of the change for good, the support, the community, we would love to ask you to share our YouTube channel, share our podcast with your community, subscribe, interact with us, let us know a person you want to be interviewed or a topic you'd love for us to shed some light on. That is why we're here, and we want to thank you and just encourage you to jump on board and be a part of our awesome Meet Bridget community.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Catch you next time.
And that's our show. If you liked what you heard today, please like, subscribe to, follow, and share Meet Bridget with your circle. The best way to help our work here is to rate and review our podcast. We're listening and constantly working to build something helpful for you. Catch you next time.